spinal column, the first part of the brainstem is the medulla oblongata. The pons is the part where it kind of bumps out, and then you have the midbrain. Pons is that area. The midbrain is this area right here. When you look, if you open that up a little bit, you can see those bumps, kind of like a baby's bottom. Those top two are the superior colliculus. The bottom two, which are kind of broken on yours, is the inferior colliculus. That's the tectum. That's part of the midbrain. Back over on this one, the diencephalon is this area right here, just above the brainstem. That's where you have the thalamus, which is the bulb part right there. Hypothalamus would just be just in front of it, and inferior to it. Third ventricle is that space in there. Wash my hands. So this is the lateral ventricle, is that space in there. Pineal gland is this bulb right here. This was the thalamus.
What was the third
hypothalamus?
Ventricle.
This space.
Is that the lateral?
Yeah, that's. I'm sorry. This is your lateral ventricle.
Okay.
Third ventricle is over in this area right here.
Oh, it's behind.
So this would be your left lateral ventricle. That leads to your third ventricle. Then you have your cerebral aqueduct, which goes down here to your fourth ventricle, which is right in here.
The fourth ventricle is in the...
It's between your cerebellum and your pons.
Okay.
So that's pons bulbs out here. Medulla oblongata, spinal column.
And then the pineal.
Tectum. Pineal gland was this ball right here.
Oh, that ball, okay.
That was that pink part on the plastic brain. Arbor vitae, that's the white matter on your cerebellum. It's the tree of life. The gray matter around it is your folia. Corpus callosum, that's the part that connects the left and the right hemisphere. Or the cerebrum. It's just above that lateral ventricle. Septum pellucidum is the membrane that covers the lateral ventricles. The fornix would be the, it's kind of, it must be on the other half of the brain. Sometimes you get brains cut where you have part. It would be the line here. It's the line that is on the other side of the lateral ventricle, just above the pinea. The cerebral cortex is your gray matter. It's going to be on the outer surface. Cerebral tax, the white matter, which are going to be the majority of the inner side of the brain. Your cerebral tracts. For the full brain, this is your cerebellum. You have the right and left hemispheres. This part in the middle is the wormy part, which is your vermis. Your cerebellum, you got your right and left cerebral hemispheres. The gyri are the folds or the hills. The valleys are the sulci or the grooves. Longitudinal fissure goes the long one that separates the right and left hemisphere. Flip it over. Brainstem. And you have the medulla oblongata, pons. Midbrain would be above that. If you flipped it over, you had we already saw the tectum. The other one on here is the optic chiasm, where that crisscross is right here. It's kind of cut a little flush, but this is where your optic nerve would be coming off. So this X here is the optic chiasm. These are your olfactory nerves, or cranial nerve 1. And that is it for your labels. Now for your phone. So the conjunctiva is the membrane on the outside. The outer tunic is going to be your sclera, is all the white part. The cornea, which is clouded over on the dead sheep. So you can't see the iris, which is the colored portion, or the pupil, which is the space where the light enters through.
But the sclera is that white part?
The sclera is the white around the outside of the eye.
Outside of the eye.
So your sclera and your cornea form of the outer tunic. So if you open it up, all the gooby stuff is your vitreous body or vitreous humor. That is your lens. The little ligaments coming off the lens are your suspensory ligaments. Attach your ciliary musculature, reshape the lens for focusing. The anterior chamber is going to be between the lens and the front and the cornea, and then the vitreous chamber is from the lens to the back of the eye. The first layer you have in here is your retina. That's the beige tissue paper-like stuff. The black behind it is your choroid coat. And then that shiny blue iridescent area behind the choroid coat is your tapetum lucidum. That's what gives the night vision for animals. Yeah, that's it.
So you said the retina was the beige tissue paper, and then what was
The
the black?
choroid coat is the black part.